Welcome back to the new guide for the new Tenyi cards, Tenyi Swordsoul with the new additions. In this combo guide I will show you 3 combos. I will show you through a Nib combo. I will explain the new cards, especially in the first combo. You can find timestamps in the description below or basically in the video. And I will also show you how you can counter the new threat Maliss with Protoss, which is very effective. This deck came out at especially the right time. So let's start right here. In this hand we are starting with Tenyi Spirit Ashuna and also the new Tenyi Spirit Suruya. So let's read the new card. If you control a worm monster or face up a non-effect monster, so one of your mock of the Tennis basically, then you can special summon this card from your hand. Very nice. It's an extender if this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a worm synchro monster, which obviously always going to happen because this is level 4 tuner. You can special summon one Tenyi link monster from your extra deck, but it cannot be used as a link material, and then you lose life points equal to its link rating times 1000. So we are going to start with the Ashuna. We can summon Ashuna and then link it off into a monk of the Tenyi. Now we can activate Ashuna in the graveyard to get one of our other worm monsters to the field. In this case, we are going to get the Shatana, which we play once. By the way, there will also be a deck profile, a deck list at the end that you can also find. Now we can special summon the Suruya, and the reason why we have chosen the water one is because now we have 8 available, so Synchro 8. We are going to go Synchro 8 into the new Tenyi Spirit Mula Athara. Mula Athara reads if this card is synchro summoned and 2 or more worm monsters are in your graveyard, which is the case right now, and or banishment. You can add one field spell from your deck to your hand. We have a new field spell. And then also, while a non-effect monster is face up on the field, Monk of the Tenyi in this case, this card gains these effects. Cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects and can make a second attack during each battle phase. So it's very nice for killing, but also it cannot be impermed. So we are safe from imperm and effect vader. Going to activate this and activate the Suruya, because now Suruya can special summon from the extra deck, which we are going to special summon the Tenyi Spirit Zarara and going to add Tenyi Infinity, the new field spell here. We're going to get burned for 4000 life points here and then activate Tenyi Infinity. So Tenyi Infinity, when this card is activated, you can add one vessel for Dragon Cycle or Heavenly Dragon Cycle from your deck to your hand, and then you can also tribute one worm monster, then target one monster on the field, destroy it. So if you play into an opponent's board, this is a very nice effect. And once per turn during the end phase, you can send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, place one Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi from your deck or graveyard face up in your field zone. You won't really use this effect because it's not that great, but you can obviously play and build your deck around this. We have summoned, by the way, there's not a new card, but just to explain to you what we do here, the Tenyi Spirit Shara, which says while you control a face-up non-effect monster, so as long as Monk of the Tenyi is on the field, your opponent can not target effect monsters for attacks, and then also cannot target effect monsters on the field with card effects. So at this point, anything here that is an effect monster is basically safe from infinite permanence and effect vader or anything else that targets. So this is a very nice protection on the field that you want to keep right here. We are going to resolve Tenyi Infinity now to grab Heavenly Dragon Cycle here. Going to activate the cycle. We tribute our Mula Athara because at this point this is only a body to add the Taya. We have not normal summoned yet, and now we can go into our Swordsoul place here. Going to normal summon the Taya, activate the effect to banish, in this case, the new Tenyi Spirit Suruya, and summon a token. Then we go into the Swordsoul Grandmaster Shishao, like always, basically activate Shishao 1, chain block this with Taya 2. Taya can now send to the graveyard a worm. We are going to send, in this case, an Athara, and Shishao gets Swordsoul Emergence. From here on out, we are going to go Emergence at the Protoss. You obviously can also add the Grandmaster if you have another card in the hand, which you should have, and then you have access to another Synchro 10. This is another potential line that you can use right here, but we can also grab the Protoss and basically beat Maliss outright, for example, or also Blue Eyes, I guess. We are going to remove the water, the light, and the wind from our graveyard for the Protoss, and then you can go ahead and activate the Athara to grab back to our hand the Taya. This is also where you can use the Grandmaster that you can add with the Emergence, and you can discard the Taya, right? So you would do it the other way around, but you will see this in the second combo line. And then we can obviously call Protoss Dark, but you could also call Protoss Light. So depending on what you play against, you either call Dark for the Maliss, which you will face a lot, especially in the beginning of the new pack, which the new Swordsoul or Tenyi cards come out, or you could call Dark for something like Blue Eyes. Let me show you another combo line. So in this combo line, we are starting with 2 of the Tenyi monsters. In this case, we are starting with Ashuna and Vishuda. We are going to special the Ashuna because we control no effect monsters. Link 1 into Monk of the Tenyi. Then we can also summon the Vishuda to the field. Activate the Ashuna in graveyard to get our Adhara, and now we have Synchro 8 available. Go into Mula Adhara, and then obviously we go Mula Adhara to add the field spell. Cannot be interrupted once again. Add the field spell, activate field spell, grab Heavenly Dragon Cycle once again. Activate the Dragon Cycle, tribute Adhara once again. You can grab a Mogi here. We have not yet normal summoned, and then Adhara can get back to the hand our Ashuna because we need something to show for the Moi's effect. We are going to Moi normal summon, show the Ashuna, summon a token here, and then obviously we can once again go into Grandmaster Shi Shao and chain block this, chaining 1 Shi Shao to add and chaining 2 Moi to draw a random card. Very nice. Obviously we are going to draw a random card, and then with the Shi Shao add Swordsoul Emergence. At this point we are going to activate Swordsoul Emergence and grab the Swordsoul Strategist Longyan. This is what I was talking about in the combo. In the last combo you can also grab the Longyan here instead of the Protoss in the line before basically. So you can either go for a Synchro 10 or you can go for the Protoss. Maybe you have one of the others already in hand, maybe you already have a Longyan, then you can obviously also get the Protoss, or maybe already have the Protoss, then you can get the Longyan, right? And now we can go ahead and activate the Longyan, discard the Ashuna, get the token here, and now you can also make a Synchro 10. We go for the Shishin Longyan. At this point you could also go for the Sovereign Shenging, or I think at this point you can still go for, it's not in this list right now, but it is in the list I'll show in a second, for the Baron, because I think you are not Tenyi locked at this point, so you could go for one of your Synchro 10s, but once again you could have also gone for the Protoss here. And now let me show you a line that plays through Nib. So for the anti-Nib line, let's once again consider we have an Ashuna and another one, let's say the Vishuda here, and we have something to extend our plays. And we can save ourselves from Nib here by going Ashuna first. It's basically like in the other combo before, going to link off into a Monk of the Tenyi. And once again, we have the Vishuda banish our Ashuna to get the Adhara and basically get our Synchro 8 online. So we go Synchro 8 into Baxia here. Now we can activate Baxia's effect. We destroy a card on the field, in this case the Monk of the Tenyi, to revive one from the graveyard, in this case the Adhara. Now we have Synchro 9 available, and you can go, and this is the 5th summon, into Chao Weng, the Phantom of the Yang Xing, which says while the Synchro summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters with the same original attribute as the Yang Xing monsters used for the Synchro summon. We have used the Baxia, which is a light, so at this point your opponent cannot use any Nibiru, so you are Nib safe here. Also, if you play against Blue Eyes, he has a big problem because all of his monsters are light basically. Now we can go with our normal combo because now we are Nib safe. We go Taya here, banish our Monk of the Tenyi to get a token, then we go into our Swordsoul Grandmaster Shi Shao, which can then be chain blocked. Once again, Shi Shao won a Swordsoul of Taya 2. Taya is going to send our new one here, the Suruya, and then we are going to add the Emergence. At this point, once again, you can go for a Protoss here, but you could also once again go for the Strategist if you have another card in the hand to discard. And then you can go Protoss here, and once again, you could either call Dark against Maliss, or once again could call Blight, but Blight doesn't really make that much sense because we already have this here that basically negates the light. So with this board, you're actually safe against any light deck and any dark deck, which normally is Maliss, which is super strong. So a deck that is pretty finely tuned for the current meta, and here you can play around Nib with the Shao Feng. Let me now show you the deck profile with the new Tenyi cards. So here's the deck profile. We are playing 2 Nibirus, obviously the Protoss. Definitely want 3 Ashuna because you have seen how important this card is. 2 Vishuda, then we play triple Swordsoul Strategist Longyan, 2 Taya, and then obviously Moi, one of the best starters. 3 Tenyi Spirit Suruya because in a lot of combos you can make a lot happen with her. She's not a one-card starter on her own, but she's a very good extender, which is also a tuner, which is actually very nice. So if you go normal summon Moye and your Moye, for example, gets stopped, then you also have the ability to just summon her as an extender and continue your plays. This is new and very important. This also counts for Taya, would also count for the strategist Longyan. So if any of this, I guess Longyan comes from the hand, so not really. But if your opponent deals with your token, the tuner token, then you have another tuner available, which is why Suruya is so important, but not a new one-card starter, right? Then we have the Ecclesia. Obviously, this is another way to get into your starters here. We have one Chitana. You have seen it in the combo line. We play triple Ash Blossom, obviously 2 Maxis, then 2 Adharas, Swordsoul Emergence, another great starter, then 1 Tenyi Infinity, 1 Vessel for the Dragon Cycle, 1 Heavenly Dragon Cycle, then obviously Swordsoul Blackout, a good interruption, and triple Imperm. For the extra deck, we are playing, like always, basically a Supreme Sovereign. Then you can play Baron de Fleur, Swordsoul Sinister Sovereign, the Chao Feng to play around Nib, the new Tenyi Spirit Mula Adhara, Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, 2 Swordsoul Grandmaster Shishao, then the Baxia as well as the Yazi Evil of the Yangzing, triple Monk of the Tenyi, 1 Tenyi Spirit Zashara for the combo line I've showed you, and obviously a Shaman of the Tenyi. So this is it for the new Tenyi cards. A very good extender here in the Tenyi Spirit Suruya, and then also with the Mula Adhara that is basically protected against being impermed or effect Verdad with the new field spell that continues your plays, is very, very nice. So a lot new combo lines for the Swordsoul deck, and a lot of extenders, a lot of additional pushes that you can do when you get interrupted. So this deck definitely has become more powerful. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions concerning the new cards. Thanks for being here. Also check out my Maliss guide if you have not already. It's linked in the top right corner, and have fun with the new deck.